Hello YouTube, this is Christian coming to you with another review. This time on the table is a Vanquest Addax 18, which is a backpack I got mainly because I'm exploring less military looking backpacks at the moment, and last week I had the Javelin 18 on the table for a thorough review, which stretched out a little bit, and this time around we're looking at the Addax, which takes it a step further. And from Vanquest you know you get quality gear with nice stitching and good materials, so that was my first port of call when I thought about maybe have something a little bit more formal in a backpack. And so for the last couple of weeks I've been switching between that and the Javelin, and it was a bit of a surprise really, using both of them side by side. They're actually quite similar as far as size is concerned. They're both 18 liters, with the Addax being a little bit higher and this one here a little bit more compact. But other than that, they're really quite similar in height and in the way they handle. Of course, Javelin is a convertible that can be converted into a sling pack, and suits my personal style of carrying gear a little bit better, mostly because it's a sling pack and you have that nice side access which allows you access to all of your items without moving anything on the inside of your pack all the time in order to access those items that are sitting a little bit lower. But now let's have a look at this one, and this is pretty much packed as I left it on Friday. I'm just gonna make a new load for the new week, which is going to be a little bit different yet again, but this is pretty much how I carried it. So let's go and have a look at the outside, the features on the outside, which aren't many, and then we have a closer look at the inside. So this is Vanquest's own proprietary PU nylon blend of material, plain black. They do a grey, I believe, and there's also a multicam black. Now, as opposed to the multicam, this is a little bit more shiny. It has a bit of a low sheen element to it, and that kind of makes me regret a little bit that I got the black one, because I think I would have liked the more matte look of the black multicam a little bit better. But that being said, I wanted to get away from military themes on that one, and so this is what I went for. And overall, in terms of quality and durability of the material, I think it's fairly good. I can't give you obviously any kind of indication of how it performs long term, and there's a couple of things that perhaps I don't like as much as I thought I would about the material, but we get to that a little bit later. Now this pack is pretty much segmented into three main areas. There's your front admin section, then there's your main compartment, and then on the back here you have your notebook and document compartment. And then you look at the back and you have some nice ventilated backpack straps with a nice sternum strap, which is neatly adjustable within limits, and then you have your tightening straps, and they do have, like Vanquest does pretty much on all of their products, your little hook and loop fasteners to allow you to take up all kind of excess material that you would have dangling there, which they don't do for the sternum strap, but that is easy enough to fix, so that's alright. They also integrate a little bit of a whistle there for emergency situations. I'm not entirely sure whether that really is needed, but for the gadget freak it's a nice touch. All of these run nicely, they really work well, and my only concern here really is, or not as much of a concern, that I would really like to see a QD buckle at the end of that. Usually, sure, it's easy enough to kind of dislocate your shoulder to get into the bag. I personally prefer it to have a buckle here at the bottom. Now, as opposed to the Javelin, this is not convertible to a sling bag, so it's a plain backpack, and it works well for that. In addition to that, you get 2 little carry handles if you ever have to take it on the side for whatever reason, whether you take it out of a luggage compartment on an aeroplane or a bus or something. This might come in quite handy, and it also serves as a loop if you have a trolley and you want to just put it through the handlebar of your carry-on luggage trolley, if you like. On the bottom they have a loop section on here that allows you to attach additional straps, attach additional accessories, and I would usually say it's a nice thing to have, mostly because it's sitting at the bottom and it should be the most proud element of the backpack at the bottom, and therefore this strip would take all the wear. Unfortunately, here in this particular case, it's really these corners where the backpack rides on the ground. If you put it down, say, it is directly exposed, and the abrasion is going to happen on the main fabric. So they all have their Spartan pullers. I'm not a great fan of those, mostly because they put a bias on the zipper, which doesn't necessarily help with a smooth running zipper. You can see that backwards it's no problem, but if you're tilting it forward, it kind of gets a bit stuttery. So if I was to use this pack long term, I would just go with a straight loop to keep the zipper runner alignment a little bit better. Then you have a top loop here, carry handle, which is just a little bit of webbing. It's well stitched, but there's not a lot of padding. There's no padding in actual fact, but it's fair enough. It's not overly heavy backpack, so that's not too much of an issue. Other than that, it's all YKK zippers, and the only exit, well, all of them are reversed, but this one here, that's an Aqua Protect, so this is a very nice way to keep dust and moisture out of the notebook compartment. It works really well. You're sacrificing a little bit of smoothness of the zipper, but ultimately it offers a fair bit more protection than just a plain reverse one. So you got it rubberized, and there's really just a very small gap there, and it's actually sealing relatively well. It's by no means watertight, but it certainly provides a good amount of sealing. Starting with the interior of the pack, let's look at the top pouch there. So the upper compartment is your first admin pouch, and they kind of, it opens halfway. You can see you get almost 2/3 of the way, which sort of allows you to bring the front lid down to expose its contents a little bit better. And you can see straight away where the charm of Vanquest comes in. It's just that very nice ripstop orange nylon, which provides great contrast on the inside of the pack, and everything is laid out in front of you quite clearly. So I'm not usually making a lot of use of these organizational pockets. A little bit in here, but other than that, for me, that's storage pockets. I don't like to pack all my individual items because I change backpacks too often, and I just like to change my organizers over. Otherwise I have to remember where I put everything, and that gets a little bit tedious if you're switching a lot. Then you have your little keeper chain and 2 loops for attachment, and 2 little pouches. And by the way, I really like the way that Vanquest does these, with 2 hook and loop sections there, which provides you with a smaller gap on the side, so hardly anything will fall out of this pocket it's very unlikely to, whereas most other manufacturers just go with one in the middle, and then you have these large openings on the side where everything can slide out. So that's well done, and it's keeping this compartment nicely closed. And on this side you have a semi see-through kind of webbing that allows you to guess what's inside this pocket, or at least see that something is left inside this pocket, which is a nice touch and also sort of a nice contrast to the rest of the pack. So that's your upper admin pouch, and it has a fair bit of its own volume. I mean, it's not much, but at least it's probably providing you with some 16 millimeters of volume in terms of depth, which is good. Now then, here's your hook and loop patch, so you can patch it to your heart's content, heart's desire, and your little Vanquest logo, which is a small piece of embossed leather, which is a nice touch. I really like it that way. And then there's your second admin pouch. Now with this one, I don't know, I do have my reservations. You kind of have to pull it open, and then still it's not very accessible, and it's also hard to see what's inside of that. So you kind of have to work your way through that to make out its contents. I can't say I like that too much. That's just a case for my glasses. A little flashlight in there, my driver bits, and that's about it. There's three, it's really not as easy to see, there's three larger pockets here for bigger items, as you can see. And then on the front there's also some webbing. So there's they're divided into two pieces of webbing, stretchy loop webbing down there. Now I kind of understand that you kind of do this in order to keep that looking a little bit compact, or almost as if it was made out of one piece. But would have, from a usage perspective, ergonomics perspective, I think it would have really served as well to run that zipper all the way and do the same that you did up there. Just run it down to 2/3 and give somebody the ability to actually open that up, flap it open, to get to the contents a little bit more easily. It wouldn't have taken much to do that, and it would have been a big benefit in terms of accessibility of this compartment. So this is one of the uglies for me. Going on to the main compartment. So here's just my usual suspects, my Vanquest EDC pouch there. Then I have my medkit, and I changed over from what I have been using before, and also went to the Vanquest first responder pouch. I will review that in a separate video, but I really like that, the way it opens up and the way it's organized. And yeah, that's a great one. It's a bit big, probably get a smaller one in red as well, but I like this. So, which exposes the rest of the pack pretty much, and in there you can see you have two water bottle compartments. Little, they're not that little actually, they're rather large pockets that capture your water bottle there on the side. You can see it there, there's a little button there that allows you to tuck it back into place, and then you have some stretchy loop on top to secure your water bottle if you want to keep it tight and secure off to one side. On the other side, here's your see-through pouch again. In this case, just some cables and accessories for my headlight. And that's pretty much the main compartment. You can see you have your loop section here, and also on this side. Now, personally, I mean, I like the touch. It's rather soft, and it's not going to damage any surface on any equipment that you're going to put in here. And of course it's been one of the great features of Vanquest bags to have that internal loop lining, so that you can put your Velcro accessories onto it. You can get packing cubes from Vanquest that you can just, sticky cubes, you can just take them on here. And I think it is a great feature in a lot of their bags. In this one in particular, I don't see the point as much, because it's pretty much a drop bag. So down here, up here, I'm not sure you really want to Velcro anything on, because in a real life scenario you have to pull the Velcro away from the hook and loop section in order to get it off. And in this particular case, the way this is constructed, you want everything rather to slide in and out easily, and hook and loop wouldn't necessarily help you there. But it's there, and maybe you want to put a holster in there for your concealed carry, albeit it's not a fast access kind of concealed carry compartment per se. So keep that in mind. But it looks nice, and it is functional beyond its functionality as a loop panel. So that's all good. As far as water carrying is concerned, I like to carry usually 2 bottles with me. I really miss the option to attach a bottle externally. So that's the other one. The big gripe for me is, well, either have one, just a loop stitched on the side, that perhaps also with a button you can just tuck away if you don't need it, or give us a little bit of pels webbing, or a little bit of the laser cut pels on the side here. That would really help, mostly because you can see that a water bottle just takes away a lot of internal volume of the bag. In most cases you want to access your water bottle separately from your contents anyways. So external water bottle is a biggie for me. And the next thing is, and this is purely me, other people might not have that kind of problem, I use clean canteen stainless bottles, and they're great, but they're not always 100% watertight here. So I'm a little bit reluctant to have that in here with the rest of my gear. The bag gets tucked around a fair bit, goes through bumps, and then I have water spill inside the bag, which is something I don't like too much. So I really like to have my water on the outside, and not having that option, it's not so great for me. So just lining that out, and we are on to the rear compartment, which is once again behind that sealed zipper. And what you have here is actually quite nicely done. It's an accordion style system in here. What I got in here is just a folder with some documents I'm gonna be needing, and then you have a separate kind of pouch sewn onto it, and this is just the perfect size for an iPad, or even a larger iPad. This is just a standard 9.6 iPad, and then padded on this side and padded on the back there you have your main notebook compartment. At the moment that's a 15-inch Microsoft Surface, but I put my MacBook Pro in there, also 15-inch, and it fits into that no trouble at all. So that is really rather spacious and a good fit. And that is something I really like on this particular bag. It's just that rear compartment for office use. It's really a nice way of doing things with that accordion style. And you don't have to worry too much about anything else. It's the right size. You wouldn't be tempted to pack much other things in here. In here you have the ripstop, which provides a nice sliding fit for your folders. Also here for your iPad. And at the back here you have on one side the ripstop, on the other side you have the loop section again, which does a great job. It slides in and out nicely. without scratching any surfaces, which is all you would want from this compartment. So all of that is really good in terms of rear compartment, but you can see already here that I'm fighting this particular zipper a little bit more than I should have to. So overall, I like this bag for a number of reasons. I like the simplicity of it. Really, there isn't much organizing in here that you can really be doing in a sensible way. So you just have to live with what you've got, and sometimes keeping things simple. It's quite similar for me to the Tasmanian Tiger Essential Pack that I reviewed a while back. Sometimes having something really simple is good. It just makes things simpler, less complicated, less pockets to look into, organizing stuff in a more straightforward fashion, and that's a bonus. That's a good thing. So other than that, the pack, if it's loaded and even if it's empty, it stands all by itself, and that's for me a great feature, because for me that is kind of an office bag where I actually take it and have it sitting next to my computer desk most of the time during the day, and then if I have to access something, I quite often just leave it open like that, and I get to most of the things, and it's pretty much a big drop pouch. That's how this one works by comparison to other ones like the Javelin, where you have more organizing options. This one is really quite straightforward in a lot of ways, and if you're so inclined to actually want to organize your stuff not into separate organizer pouches, but organize them here, and it's going to be your day-to-day pack, I suppose the way you access this compartment is also rather intuitive and straightforward and good. Down here, as I mentioned before, this is fine as long as your backpack is empty, but the moment you start to pack it, this front compartment just gets too tight, and it also takes away from the looks. Once you have it packed out, it kind of wants to bow out a little bit and takes away from the otherwise sleek design of it. If you like boxy items, I mean, it overall is a box, and whether that is a design is a different question, but it also means it fits easily into your car boot, and it's quite easy to organize it with other pieces of your luggage, so it stays rather compact with not too much hanging off the side, the bottom, or even those. If you stand it up, there's not an awful lot actually rubbing on the floor. It's rather compact and nice, and I like it for that reason. As far as I'm concerned, I like the 3 compartments here to have your documents, notebook separately from your other contents. Something I'm actually missing by comparison from the Javelin, where you really have to access the main compartment all the way in order to get to the notebook pouch in the back. This is not so great for office use. It's great for everything else, but this one does it a fair bit nicer. As far as I'm concerned, I would rather go with the Envoy, which is their sling pack that I use a lot still. I still have that one. The Envoy 17 and even the smaller one is a good alternative to this bag in my view. For me, most of all, I prefer sling packs, and even if it's a messenger bag, it has advantages over it because it gives you all around much better accessibility to all your bag's contents, and still providing nice document, notebook and iPad compartments that really work well. If you're a backpack guy, this is a nice bag, and it keeps you a little bit more on the stealthy side, if you want to put it that way, as an EDC guy. It completely lacks any kind of resemblance to a military item or a tactical item, and I think this is where this is still a great bag with some limitations. So Vanquest, I know at times you drop into looking into my videos. This would be an awesome bag. I would probably choose that over the Javelin if it had outside attachment possibilities or outside pockets for the water. That is a restriction that I'm having trouble with. I kind of want to have my water bottle on the outside, and I believe a lot of others would too. And this front compartment here, that could be done with an additional zipper, or a zipper that runs all the way down. Make that open up, and this is a really great bag. But so far these two things, they will actually keep me from using this on a daily basis. It's just one thing too many with that front pocket and the accessibility into it, where I have to say, okay, no, that's not for me. That's too much of a compromise. If you look at this one, it's almost kind of very similar ratios, but you open up that front compartment here and bang, you know, everything is laid out straight in front of you, and that is what you kind of expect. So, or at least what I expect. Other than that, great quality stitching, top notch, and a great Crayman option, I believe they call it, or yeah, less military looking EDC pack that comes in the usual quality from Vanquest. Alright, hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you like. There's more contents to come. I will have some more Vanquest gear and Maxpedition gear coming up shortly for review, and you're always appreciated when you come around to listen to me. Alright, you all have a good day, and catch you next time. See ya, bye bye.